Hello, my friends, and welcome back to part 3 of my embellishment of this flamenco dancer. Today I'm going to be working on the dress. Now, I had to decide what color to use. It has to be a value that is different from this part of the pour, because if it's the same value, it's just going to look like a big blob. I have to have it stand out from this part. So that means I either have to go very dark or lighter. So I made a copy, a bad copy, on my printer of the canvas, and then I just played around with some colored pencil options to see what I liked. So you can see if I were to use red, it would just get lost in there. So that's a no. I thought of peach, and I thought of light pink, purple perhaps. So I've decided I'm going to go with light pink for starters. It'll show up here on the sleeve over this dark area. And the peach was just, I don't know, there wasn't enough orange in the pour, I felt. Maybe there is, but I'm not sure. I'm going with pink, which is odd because I don't like pink. I'm not a pink fan, but I think it calls for it here. Now, and if I don't like it, I can always go darker and go with the purple. So that's my backup plan. Yeah. So let me go mix up some paint and we will begin. Okay, I have returned. I have mixed up 3 values of pink using white and quinacridone violet. So I have 3 values: dark, medium, and light. They're all on the light side in the value scale. But I need pretty light to, as I said, to show up against the dark value of the skirt. So let's begin. I'm going to begin with the sleeve area right here to see if it's light enough, if I'm going to get good coverage. So I'm just going to begin with the medium tone. And yeah, I think that's, I'm just going to put down a thin coat of that for starters. I have my window open. It's a beautiful day here in California, but it's a little windy, and my dog is snoring next to me, so if you hear some weird noises, that's what it is. All right, yeah, I think that's going to be good. That'll show up well on there. So I'm going to go into my dark, and I'm not sure this is dark enough, but I want to add some kind of folds in the in the sleeve. So just gonna tap that in areas, and I don't think that is dark enough, so I'm just going to brush mix, pick up some of the straight quinacridone. See if that's better. I think it is. Just to get a little movement in the fabric, it's not just flat. A little shading along this inner edge. While that's still wet, I'm just wiping off my brush. I'm not putting it in water. Back into the medium tone and kind of pat blend those two together. I don't want a harsh line. Okay. I do want it to be opaque. I don't want to be able to see the pour underneath, so I'm just adding to it. this is going to be tricky, the ruffly sleeve, but it's going to be fun if it looks good. Going into the light, the lightest pink I mixed, and add a little highlight areas around the dark to add a little. It'll make the dark look darker and the light look lighter when you put them side by side. Wiping off my brush and just kind of blend them. This is an oil technique. I'm hoping if I work quickly enough, it'll work on it with acrylics. I could have added blending gel or extender, and maybe I should. But anyway, I'm not unhappy with that. I think I'll do the body of the dress, and then I'll come down to the ruffly sleeves. So yeah, I'm okay with the color. I think that's working. Come up here, and I want to make that one little gap there so the background shows through, and you can really see that she's arching her back there. So I'll leave that. I need a little dark right up here. There would be kind of a, what am I trying to say? A wrinkle? you know what I'm trying to say. If it works, you'll see what I mean. Maybe up here a little bit, and not really worried about a seam, but now going into the light, the medium rather. Into the light. And I decided the light was coming from up here, so I'm going to use the lightest tone on her shoulder and along this edge of the dress. And again, I don't want it to be, I'm not trying to be photoreal here. I just want more than just a flat color. So going into the dark, since she's twisting, there would be some of these, I wish I could think of what the term is, these kind of things in her dress. Puckers, maybe? Clean my brush out, that's important. I'm going to add some water and make it more of a wash than thick on this part, because this is on white canvas. I mean, it's white paint. Down here it had to be pretty thick, but here it can be quite thin, pale. Oops, I forgot to mute my phone. I hope that wasn't an uncomfortable noise for you. And I can come back with my kneaded eraser and when it's all dry and remove any pencil or graphite lines that remain. See, I'm just mixing up everything. This is hair here, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, do you see how that's very close in value, the skin tone and that, and it's hard to differentiate, so I'm going to add some of the dark, kind of side load my brush and define that edge a bit so it stands out. Skin, and then kind of walk that down and out. Okay, and this same medium tone is going to go down here, this little section. And I'll just let that kind of feather out. Finger blending. Okay. Now, go back with some light and highlight some of those folds, maybe? Is that what I'm looking for? What is the word? Folds, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of dabbing color on. And maybe I do want this more solid than watery colory. It was just a thought I had, but I don't like the way it looks, so I'm going to go in there with my medium value and give that a solid coat. But not down there. I like the way that kind of disappears. Okay, let's go up and do her upper sleeve. I'll do probably one of the ruffly sleeves and the other one off camera, because they'll both be done the same way. I should be bringing you in a little closer, perhaps. Well, this one also needs some, what am I calling them? Folds? Folds in the fabric. Where she's stretching up there like that. And under here would be a bit of a shadow. This needs to be darker down here, and I don't like those folds I didn't look right. So I'm gonna, wow, it's quite windy. highlight on this side. Add some highlight to kind of help her boob look round there. Highlight that one. Okay. I'm okay with this sleeve, and this is okay. This one I'm not crazy about. I can only see 2 values there. I'm going to go into the lightest and I'll pick up a little more white, make it even lighter. Yeah, just a bit. Carry that over here. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Let's see. Let's work on the sleeve now. It's tricky, but that one, I'm going to put just a base coat of medium on there. I transferred the shape of it, but you know, it's completely up to you what the final shape is going to be like. It just was a guideline. Oops, can you see what I'm doing? Gosh, I don't, you can get the idea of the colors coming through if I just kind of patch it in, but it doesn't look very real, so I've got to make it better than that. Let's have it really swing out here, because she is moving to get this skirt to do what it's doing. Okay, now going into the dark. And make some layers. I'm going into the straight quinacridone. Further shading. Okay, now a little highlighting. And a bit of highlight right next to that shade there. There, that kind of lifts that edge. finger blend. I'm just kind of wiggling in some kind of lacy looking edge there to kind of give it a couple of layers of fun. I may darken right here where the fabric, the sleeve joins that ruffly area. A little darker. I didn't make enough contrast between my two darks there, so I'm going straight into the quinacridone to punch up that dark. I may come back and darken up all my darks with that. This is what I would normally wait for the final stage to do, so I think that's fine. I might as well do the last one, the other sleeve as well. It didn't take long. I thought it might take longer. So, into the medium. Now this sleeve, of course, is falling down. This one, it's falling back on itself. So So you see, I mean, I'm not doing anything all that special. It's by using different values, it's creating shape and interest on its own. I'm basically just dabbing paint on. A little shadow under here. Add a little of the lightest under here, or let's put it up here. That makes more sense. That's where the light's going to be hitting it on the top there. Little dabs of it down here. And my phone's dinging again. I hope that it's not a problem. I usually try to remember to put it on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Well, I think that's not bad. She looks so funny without hair, but it'll really come to life when that happens. I may touch up a little bit more off camera, refine things a bit, but you get the idea. It's just three values of pink, and you can get a look that gives a little dimension. So there we go. That's part 3. Part 4 will be the hair and maybe some flowers in her hair and just touch things up. And I think we're good. I'm pleased with the pink. I think it's enough of a contrast, and yet it's still in the family of colors, and I think it works well. So thanks for joining me, folks. See you next time. Stay well. Okay, folks, well, just like with the face, I went back and cleaned it up a little bit more, added a bit more. It probably worked another 45 minutes on just a few touches, but I think it made a difference. I added more darks. I darkened my darks in the ruffly cuff area, parts of the dress. I added some shading over here. I felt it needed it. Sometimes it just takes looking at it and living with it, turning it upside down, studying it a bit more. You can't just sit down and do it all right. I can't anyway in one half-hour session. So I did go back, as I said, and clean things up a bit and darken my darks and lighten my lights. That's always a really fun thing to do, and it really helps your finished product, I believe. So that's what I did. Hopefully you can see the difference between where I last left you and now. And now I'm stopping. Tomorrow I'll finish it up and we'll move on to something else. So, bye for now.